Good morning. Welcome to this morning's devotional study in the Psalms. Today we're talking about contentment, one of my favorite topics. Just waiting for this devotional space to populate with people. And here we are, Caleb, Ankar, and Brandy. Welcome, Janisa. Good morning, everybody. Jan Atkins, welcome this morning. Dana Kreshock, good morning to you. Hey, Marlene Throssell and Terry, good morning. Welcome, everybody. Keith, wow, the whole Ankar family is being represented this morning. Jim and Kathy Fuente, Barbara Richardson, welcome. Kim Johnson, my sister-in-law, welcome. Mom, welcome to you. Steve Hauser, good morning. Claudel, welcome to you. Good to see your name here. Good morning, everybody. Caleb, did I already say hello to you? All these Ankars came through at once, so welcome this morning. Bob and Claudia, good morning. Alyssa Tucker, good morning. Welcome, everybody. Such a great topic today as we are in times that may challenge this idea. It's good to have tools in our tool belt to practice contentment. That's the theme for today, practicing contentment. Good morning, Carmen and Deanne. Good morning to you. So we're in Psalm 131 today. It's a part of our morning devotion. I'm going to read the psalm and then we'll talk about the idea of contentment. So Psalm 131 is another Psalm of David, and it's only 3 verses long. So it's just a great psalm. This is a song of ascents of David, and so a song of ascent or a psalm of ascent is the songs that people would sing as they went to Jerusalem from wherever they lived. You know, sometimes that was a multi-day journey, and to prepare their hearts for worship. They'd get to the temple, and there's 3 times a year that the entire nation of Israel would collect in Jerusalem, and to have these great feasts and make sacrifices and so on. And these songs that they would sing as they approached, this is one of them. And so the songs of ascent are usually very positive and hope-filled. So Psalm 131 says this: O Lord, my heart is not lifted up, my eyes are not raised too high. I do not occupy myself with things too great and too marvelous for me. But I have calmed and quieted my soul like a weaned child with its mother. Like a weaned child, my soul is within me. So that's the psalmist's soul has found rest and contentment. Their mind isn't occupied by lofty things that, achievements, and I've got to get bigger and better, and we got to expand the kingdom, and we've got to do this and that, and work, and all that. He says, nope. While I'm coming to the temple, while I'm coming to worship God, I'm practicing this state of rest for my soul, like a child in its mother's arms. This is how I feel about you, God. And this is how the psalm ends. Verse 3, O Israel, this is a call to the nation. O Israel, hope in the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. And so I just feel like it's such a good practice regularly to embrace contentment. I mean, the reason I use words like practice is because I don't think that contentment is a static state. Sometimes we think of it that way, as like, I have found contentment. I have achieved this state of contentment. Because our life has so many ups and downs, so many challenges, so many setbacks, and so contentment in and of itself is challenged all the time, and our hearts can drift away from our hope being in the Lord. and our heart can drift away from this sense of what David says, like a child in its mother's arms. There's no place I feel more safe, more peaceful, more, protected. I just have everything I need right here, and so because that's threatened all the time by life, there's a bunch of tools that I think God has given us that we can apply to different situations to help continue to practice contentment, to come, when our heart gets unsettled, when our hope is deferred, when there's strife and conflict in our hearts. How do we move back toward peace? How do we move toward contentment? And so I just jotted down a quick list of things this morning as I was reflecting on this. That is, I think, are good tools for us to practice contentment. And you can apply any one of these depending on your situation, and create your own list. That would be kind of the idea as well. This is something that this is nothing new under the sun. You're going to think of things that I didn't think of, that God, these tools that God gives us to find contentment. And so I just had, let's see, I think I just jotted down 7 things really quickly. So here they are. I'm just going to give you the list, and I'll talk a little bit about them, but hopefully it's going to be helpful to us. The first and foremost, practicing contentment, a tool God gives us is to meditate on the person and character of God. The final verse in the psalm is, O Israel, put your hope in God now and forevermore. I mean, that is the end result. God is all we need. If I have a right relationship with God, I can rest. I have what my soul longs for, because God himself, this relationship with the creator of the universe, the loving God, the all-knowing God, can fill my soul. And I can drink deeply from my relationship with God and find rest. Jesus said, when the water you drink from this well, he said, I'm thinking about the woman at the well in this conversation, you're going to drink this water and it'll satisfy you temporarily, but you're going to get thirsty again. But if you drink from the living water, that will well up within you, you'll never thirst again. And that's the kind of contentment that Jesus offers. If you eat the bread that I give, Jesus says, you will never hunger. And so these, thirsting and hungering are pictures of want. We are in a place of want. I need something that I do not currently have. And Jesus says, once you have a relationship with me, you're never going to hunger or thirst again. Was it Isaiah that says something similar? Come, all you who are hungry, come, all you who are thirsty, and find rest for your souls. Come and eat and drink. I can't remember how it goes. You probably know this. But first and foremost, practicing contentment is meditating on the person and character of God. Just understanding that you have this amazing relationship with God, the creator of all things. And if we continually to cultivate this relationship, we will find contentment. The hunger and thirst in our soul will be satisfied in this relationship. So first and foremost, just seeking God, meditating on God, who he is, his goodness, his loving kindness, his steadfast love for us. Number two, the second tool of finding contentment, or practicing contentment, is practicing gratitude. We've talked about this before. Practicing gratitude is simply sitting and taking observation of everything in your life experience that is good. Sometimes our minds can dwell on the things that are frustrating or out of order in our life. Practicing gratitude is simply observing and meditating on those things in our life that is good. And we know from the writer of James that every good and perfect gift comes from the Father of lights. God is the source of everything good. So we focus on God, first of all. Second of all, we focus on everything that is good. It's not that we ignore or deny or put our head in the sand with regard to challenges in our lives or difficulties and so on, but to understand that there are also things to be thankful for, right? To practice gratitude. So number 2. Number 3, forgive wrongdoing. This is something that is all throughout the scriptures, especially in the New Testament, after Christ himself has provided forgiveness for our sins, that we should not withhold forgiveness from others who have wronged us. And remember, forgiveness is something that is really primarily focused on us and our own hearts. It's releasing the resentment that we're holding for someone who has wronged us, and maybe they haven't taken responsibility for it. Maybe they haven't admitted wrongdoing. They don't agree. They feel justified in their actions. Whatever it is, that's on them. What we do and what we're challenged to do is forgive. That's something we can freely do, and that's the first step toward reconciliation. And that reconciliation is contingent upon repentance and working things out with that other person. But initially, our first step is to forgive. Just as God in Christ has forgiven us, we are to forgive wrongdoing of one another. That it's the releasing of that resentment, that bitterness that is stored up in us because of that wrongdoing, is forgiveness. Just releasing that, forgiving one another. I'm just going over these briefly. You can expand on these in your own meditations, and certainly there's lots of scriptures that support each of these things. This is just what God prescribes for us to pursue contentment. Let's see, we're on number 4. Accept limits. This is a hard thing for us to do, is accept the fact that there are limits to what we can accomplish, how we can control the outcome of something, especially when we are faced with physical limitations, like something is threatening our health. There's a diagnosis or a relational conflict or something that's not right, and we don't have the power to snap our fingers and make everything right again. There's limitations to us. Somehow accepting the fact that I have limits is a path toward peace. That, okay, because the converse of that is striving, right? I'm just constantly striving. This is the Psalm 131. The beginning is like, I'm not thinking about things too lofty, too big for me. It's bigger is better. Achieve. It's like, okay, I'm letting go of some of that and my limitations. I can't always be on top. I can't always have success. I can't always be physically strong. I can't always, have complete positivity in the outcome of events around me. But I can accept my own limits in my ability to control those. And the next point that is related to this is surrender. Because I have limits that I can't control the outcome of things, surrender is my act of surrendering to God the outcome. And the more I've used the word detached before, and I don't mean detached in an unhealthy way where, again, you're putting your head in the sand or you're just denying reality, but detached in the sense of I'm loosening my grip on my expectation of the outcome. And another author writes about this becoming indifferent toward the outcome. I have a hope for the outcome. I certainly have a desire for how I want things to go, but I'm going to loosen my grip on my control of that outcome. I'm going to surrender it to God, who loves me, who is in control, and I can trust him in this process. So detaching from my tight grip on the outcome of things. So understanding my limits and then surrendering the outcome to God. Number 6, resist comparison. When we compare ourselves to one another, there is a temptation to think that life is just unjust. It's like, well, how come they have more than I have? How come they get more success, or how come they have this thing or this attribute that I don't have? When we compare ourselves with one another, it raises this sense of discontent in us. This is the whole purpose of advertisements on television and so on, is to raise the level of discontent. Anyway, here's something that would make your life happier, and you don't have it. So that's the purpose of it. So when we resist comparison to others, and we just look at not desiring what someone else has. Those are other words that we describe that as what? Envy and jealousy. Those are biblical ideas that we should be rejecting, right? So it falls in with this. It's like, the converse side of that is practicing gratitude. I'm grateful for what I have. I look around, I look at all that is good, and I'm like, yep, I can find contentment in being grateful. And the converse side of that is resisting comparison. The last one in my short list here is understanding that the journey is more important than the destination. This is a really important concept for us to grab a hold of, because in our minds we think, I just want to get there. If you've been on a long trip with your family as a kid, and you can't help but ask the question, how much longer? Are we there yet? I am tired of the waiting. I'm tired of the journey. But the reality is, in life, the journey is this much of life, and the destination is this much of life. We're always on the journey. And the way God communicates to us in the scriptures is that really it's about the journey. You think about the trial, like the struggle, the challenge. God says, it's in the challenge, it's in the trial, it's the struggle that I am developing the character I want to you. I'm refining you like silver and gold is refined. I'm refining your faith. I'm refining your character. I'm building this in you. It's all about the journey, and we don't. And the destination is less important. The destination is like, I've arrived at maturity or something. I've arrived at this destination. That kind of depicts a static state, which is never sticks around very long. And then we're on the next journey to the next destination, and so understand that. Don't get frustrated with that's not a great way to say it. It's like, don't get angry. It's like, well, I can't actually, that's an emotion that just happens, right? So how would I better say this? It's learning to embrace that the journey is the thing. If we continue to reject that as a truth, and it is a truth, the journey is the thing. It's more important than the destination. And that's how God works in our lives. And so if we kind of embrace the journey rather than just get so focused on the destination, it will help us to find contentment, because most of our lives we're on a journey, not having arrived at the destination. So let's echo the words of this psalmist, Psalm 131. I'm not fixing my eyes on the things that are out of reach, that I don't have. They're too lofty for me, and so on. But my hope is, I'm like a child in the mother's arms who's completely content, and my hope is in God now and forevermore. And so be blessed today, and we will see you again tomorrow morning.